Hello. My name is Neha. I'm a second-year MBA at Preliminary, and I would like to know what are some major changes in Vietnam business from the last decade, from 2000 onward.
Oh, okay. The good news here is that we joined the WTO, so we open more doors for all kind of business, and we welcome international investor. There are provinces that we have a certain destination area to build the industrial zone, and they're working quite well in Vietnam with the young population. And what we need is before you invest anything, so you need to prepare for the training budget for the people here to work in an international environment. So the major change is that we open more doors to welcome more investors. There are certain areas, like I said before, like infrastructure, telecommunication. Now we have an international investor for that. So there's a market for people to play the fair games here. Yeah, that's a major change. Thank you.
Okay, any question?
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Anna. I'm also a second-year MBA and Basic Civil Business at William & Mary. My question is, since you have opened more doors for international investors, what's the sentiment that the Vietnamese have towards internationals who would like to start a company here? Or do you welcome them, or is it better to partner with someone who is Vietnamese to start a new company here?
That's a good question. I like that. Well, we welcome the international investor, whether through the firm of joint venture or you can be 100% owned as a foreigner on business in Vietnam, which is fine. And we are playing the fair games. There's no, what you call prejudice or what? Prejudice between the players in the games. We welcome on. If Japan offers fantastic technology, we welcome Japan. If German offer fantastic management thing, we welcome Germany. Or if US offer fantastic sales and marketing in the international market, you produce, like we have a Nike, we have a lot of US companies in Vietnam. They are doing quite well here. And there's no prejudice between the investor.
Hi, I'm Angela.
Hi.
I'm a first year at William & Mary. This builds on Anna's question a little. I was wondering when, hopefully in the future, we'll have the opportunity to work with people that are international, particularly from Vietnam. And I was wondering if there is it preferred that we can speak the language, or is it preferred that we do business in English? And what assumptions should we make when we're starting to do business together?
Okay, that's great. Young people, young Vietnamese people, we speak English. But you will have a more advantage if you can speak local language, which is Vietnamese. And I have many American friends who speak both as Vietnamese. And they're welcome everywhere. I mean, just give you the social contact more easier, and people find very interesting when speak with the foreigner in their local language. So Vietnamese language is easy to learn. I teach Vietnamese when I was in university. So stay in contact with me if you want to learn Vietnamese, okay? Find me on Facebook, okay?
And so one day Mr. Hùng will invite you come to his restaurant, Buchan Day, okay?
Oh, okay.
Why not, right?
Well, on the country in the world, if you can speak the local language, that's a plus, that's an advantage. It's the same. But we can still use English to work in the international environment. Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Chun, and I'm from second year MBA as well. Since you talk about Nike and stuff, we saw a lot of products made from China and also like offer the clothes. We saw like quite amount of that made of Vietnam. So I just want you to compare between like labor costs in Vietnam and in China, the quality or what aspect you see different or
Well, I think for the international brand like Nike, it doesn't matter whether the product is made in China or in Vietnam or in Cambodia. The quality standard is the same because they have a total quality management system to do it. The competitive advantage between China and Vietnam is the workforce. Maybe China has more people. Maybe they offer a lower cost in terms of labor. But whether the shoes are made in Vietnam or in China, once it is branded Nike, it is Nike. So they have a very strict system to control this. So I cannot compare. I don't see any differences. I got a chance to work with Nike as a customer, as a partner, because they have many expatriates to stay in Vietnam, and I take care of the hotel business of Marriott International in Vietnam. So I understand they have a really good system to control the quality of the product. All right.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm in my 4th year of study at the university.
Hi, Sarah.
My question is when you address some of the market weaknesses, do you see these being addressed in the near future, or do you think that this is something that will take a long time to sort of overcome in terms of the IPR, the property rights, and the labor laws? Do you think this will happen shortly, or something that will take a longer time to address?
I think they are being improved quite a lot. If 3 or 4 years ago, I went to the administrative office, my frustration is high, my temper is high. Now the service is good. The service, they may offer you some tea and cookies at the table already. So I'm quite positive on this. They are working on this because they are aware of the importance of international investment into the country. So it's just because they need more training. It's not the intention to offer such a lousy system, but it's because they lack of skills. That's it. So it's quite positive right now.
My name is Hannah. I'm also a 4th year student at William & Mary. My question is about, do local Vietnamese companies find support from the government when they're looking to attract that foreign investment to bring in technology? Whether it's through infrastructure support or things like that, what options do local Vietnamese companies have from the government?
Oh, okay, that's a good question, but quite difficult. If you do the joint venture, it's easy for the local partner to find the right place to set up the business. For the country competitiveness, my personal view, we don't fight with the international market in terms of high-tech technology. Our strength is agriculture. We have a rice, we have a fruit, we have everything there. So if you invest in agriculture in Vietnam, you build a brand for this. It's easier. We cannot compete with India or China in terms of IT outsourcing, on this stuff. So for the infrastructure, for the IT, for the past 4 or 5 years, we spent a lot of money to welcome the investor, to build the area, but it seemed to me that it didn't work. We grow many good fruit that can export it to foreign country, but we have to use the foreign brand to put on the product. This is really the pity things for us. So we need the investor who is experienced on the brand to build the agriculture brand and export it. Because only this land, this kind of water, this kind of weather can grow this kind of fruit. So why not build a brand for that? So, thank you.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm a 4th year student at the university. You mentioned that one of the, key industries is agriculture. As foreign direct investment continues to increase, what other industries do you see growing other than agriculture? You mentioned that Vietnam isn't really a competitor with telecommunications or any IT, but are there any other industries that you see growing in the next several years?
Well, I see the manufacturing. I mean, you have a factory in other country in Southeast Asia, let's say China, Indonesia, Malaysia. We have lands to build factory. And you can do something, to make the product here, to put the brand and export it. For the construction, BOT, what is it stand for? BOT stand? Build, operate, transfer, right? So This is the area where you can invest because we need more roads, more ports, more airport. And if you can invest on this, that's still the area. It's different from the well-developed country. So that's the area where you can generate more future profit. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Robert, and I'm a fourth year of William & Mary. I was interested in your case with restaurant business. As a marketing student, you said that you made a mistake with finding the right target market with the restaurant. How has market research changed since then? Do you think there's more information available? And what resources are out there that you use when consulting and that some of the businesses nowadays are using?
That's a good question. Thank you. For the market in Vietnam, you do the restaurant business, it's important not to target to the correct market segmentation. You need to target to really high profile customer, or you have to do a very low profile of customer. Don't stay in the medium. What we did is we're not really up there, we're not really down there, we stay in the medium. So the operation cost every month is high. There are few restaurants, they are fine dining, and they have a good business in Vietnam. The mistake we make, we did not have a time or effort or money to correct it. That's unfortunate because that's on my saving and some of friends. We don't have an investor. But it's a good lesson. But from now on, it's improved. Once you do it in Vietnam and target to the high or the really low, the middle is quite challenging, especially for Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi capital, because the rent is quite high, $4,000–5,000 a month. And for restaurant business, you can do only the lunch and the dinner, and the coverage is just 40 to 50 seats. You don't have enough money to cover for the cost. So target to really high or open in a really low area, target to the people who don't want to pay much for their meal. Then you can be successful. Yeah.
I just have a follow-up to that. You brought up an interesting point. In the restaurant business, there's the high and then the low. Just in Ho Chi Minh City, we've seen that there's a lot of businesses now at the very high end. You talked about Rolls Royce and Porsche, but obviously not everyone can afford that. Do you see in other industries other than the restaurant business with other merchandise, do you see that high and low and emerging middle ground, or what do you see in terms of future trends?
Well, to my view, the potential one is a supply chain in Vietnam because there are more manufacturing area there, so they need a supply chain. I think it's a potential business here in Vietnam. And you see successful restaurant in the city, there's a history for that. Normally, the owner of that restaurant is also the owner of the land or the space. So when they do business, they are quite okay, stable business. But if you are the investor and you have to rent the space to run the restaurant, it's quite challenging in Vietnam. So there's a history right after we opened the door. So there's certain landowner that they were quite quick on this. So they catch up the opportunity, open the restaurant for 10 to 15 years, and now it's remained stable. Okay?